It really started as me trying to reach out to people who thought differently than me and have a real dialogue.
There's a lot of people out there that can be vicious, right? And I just want to be able to ask some really open and honest questions and get a different perspective.
I like to talk to people that have some different opinions than I do.
I think anytime you hold an opinion that is opposite of someone else, they're going to kind of dig in their heels or what have you, and they might get mad from something you say. But that's not what I'm here about. What I want to do is I want to get to know you. I want to work through some of these ideas that I feel people in society aren't taking that leap of faith and doing.
When you started this, I was like, hey, this is a great idea, great start.
I really like what you do with like a lot of your posts. You're really thoughtful, and I really appreciate people that can kind of reach out and have a clear head and are seeming to be open to kind of all sides and wants to talk things out.
I've heard so many different perspectives, and it's really opened my eyes to some blind spots that I didn't think I had. What type of system would you like to see, or what features of the system would you like to see? What are kind of the rules that you live by based on the world that you want to see?
It would look like similar to, I guess, what the founding fathers intended: a very limited government,
freedom for justice for all people,
the right to food, the right to shelter, the right to earn a wage, and then the right to vote and have a voice.
Our system really is flawless, but we have to make it work for all of us.
Representation all the time.
Representation
in toys, representation on TV, representation in the teachers that are in the schools.
We need to realize that we all just want a better life. What have been some of the things that have led us to this point where we are seeing this change happen, yet there is so much tension that's in the air.
Everybody just works. When you really break it down, you're paying this is my libertarian coming out. You pay 40% of your time is spent working for the government.
People put the monument, people put the posturing up before the actual citizens and what our Constitution is supposed to represent, and not realizing that it hasn't represented everyone equally. Right. America is not a flag. America is based on the people here that we have in the system, that and the concept that we're all supposed to be treated equally, and that has not happened.
Everyone wants it to be one way or the other.
We talked at the beginning. What we know, do we really know it?
And be patient. It take a while to realize that you're waking up in the matrix. You know what I mean? It's a kind of an uncomfortable thing. Mm-hmm. When you first wake up in the matrix, it's like, man, hold on. So everything that I thought was true is no longer true.
There's that idea of coming together for a common goal.
I don't know why we can't look at this holistically, 360 view, and figure out what's better for society.
It's you can't talk people. You got to talk ideas. Political parties come last. Politics comes last.
You can be supportive of your political party and also question it at the same time.
If you guys both think you're right, then you're both probably not, right? You both have to question if you're right. If there are two different ways that people are seeing it, that should cause you to question what you believe. And therefore you should, investigate it. And then you guys should put your facts together. And it's tough to have these conversations because one has to acknowledge that there are differences that exist among us. But it's tough to talk about them because if you make some type of, judgment call or, any little thing, people will freak out and they'll, say that you're sexist or say that you're racist or say that you're, some type of ist and don't allow you to make the mistake. And you're like, whoa, look, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Help me fix it rather than call me a name and shun me.
Well, and that's the hot button issue. I mean, gay marriage. Let's just jump into it. Now, it's do I totally agree? No, but do I am I going to force my opinion, or do I think you're entitled to any less rights than me? No. So go do it and have fun.
Well, let's call it all lives matter. I almost want to own that. If all lives matter, cool, let's hold each other accountable.
I'll just say it. So abortion, I don't believe in it. But reality of it is I'm not a woman. I don't get to make that choice.
Reading things in history, it is a toxic relationship that Black people have always had with Lady Liberty. It hasn't always just been super joyful and then things just like a happy ending.
You know, a lot of stuff my pops had to put me on. Like, look, it's not just this. It's like, yo, there's been other systematic things that have been happening in the background.
But that kind of goes back to the Stanford prison experiment for me. And it goes so far beyond just a racial issue.
I never would have thought, like, I remember people were talking about defund the police when it first came out. I was like, that's a little bit crazy. Like, I just thought flat out that was crazy. Now I'm like, yeah, maybe so. If it means that they don't have military, weapons and things like,
defunding the police. I think if we're talking in 10 years and any of this actually is carried out, I think we'll be having a conversation about how this hurt the very people that they are claiming they want to protect.
I thought all the violent stuff had just kind of like paused or stopped, and everybody was having peaceful demonstrations now. And all of a sudden now there's these people who are just being abducted in the street. Like, what's going on?
Even quote unquote left-wing outlets are now bringing up the influx in crime, violent crime.
We're more so nervous about like, oh, people are going to come into our neighborhood and try to take our stuff. But it's not even that. Like it's more so like these neighborhoods are safe because there's economic opportunity there.
And if people have stuff, what do they need yours for?
Exactly.
Right.
Educated.
That's true. That's facts.
Somehow like touching the community and giving. My relationship with God is really important to me. But family and friends are also very important to me.
Being able to give a voice to the voiceless, I just have a passion and a love for people, and I'm always trying to help whatever their goals are or whatever their visions are. So just me wanting to help, me always wanting to lend a hand. I am not a racial, social justice, advocate. That's not something I do for my job. I just want to be Black. I don't want to have to always think about my rights or
I really hate him as a person.
Like, oh, blame China. And it's like, honestly, you're just doing that to divert from the fact that you handled this so poorly, bro.
The things he says about coronavirus, oh, inject bleach into your system, the disinfectants, oh, do that. Oh, that was a joke. Well, you're the president of the United States, not George Carlin.
Man, my hope is 50 years from now, he won't even be remembered.
I don't think that he's constitutional conservative. Of course not. I think he's interested.
He promoted these values that aligned with their team, the Republicans. He's like, he's on our team, so I'm going to give him a go because the opposite is something I don't necessarily agree with. And I think it was kind of a forced choice, which is one of my criticisms of the two-party system.
He's not a good communicator. He doesn't sell the ideology very well. He fights battles terribly.
He had a TV show called The Apprentice. He literally was a fucking reality TV star.
Talk about it. Let's figure it out. But at the end of the day, hey, I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. Let's just have some fun.
Let's just have some fun, man.
Yes! Oh my gosh.